Hi everyone, it's Sarah. Today my husband and I are going to be doing a recipe video on
crawfish and shrimp etouffee.
Why are we making this? Where are you from?
I grew up in Louisiana.
And you love it.
I do.
Love it.
I love Cajun food.
How are we going to be making it? What do we start with? What's the first step?
First step is we're going to take 2 sticks of butter and put them in a big, you want to use a big pot because you can make the gumbo to feed as many as you want.
It's a healthy recipe.
We're gonna start with 2 sticks of butter on medium heat in the big pot, and as it starts to melt, I'm gonna mix in start with about a cup of flour. You're gonna want to constantly stir this so that it doesn't burn. You're going to keep stirring until it gets to the right thickness, which we'll show you in a bit, and the color of coffee with cream. So kind of
a lot of cream or a little cream? Because I don't like a lot of cream, but your mom likes a lot of cream.
A good bit of cream.
I like how you were looking at me like all violently and stuff.
So that's the first step, is to melt the butter and mix in some flour to the right texture and color.
Are you going to help Lindsay? Lindsay's a sous chef. Are you helping too? No?
What do you want me to do?
Haley thinks we're lame.
You are.
I need a little towel. Again, you don't want to just forget about it. You want to constantly stir it, especially once you put the flour in. Alright, as your butter starts to get melted, like it looks now, you want to slowly start pouring in the flour, about a cup to start. And you want to stir it so that the butter and the flour are all mixed together. This is creating the roux for your etouffee. Like I said, you start with about a cup, but we're definitely going to be adding some more flour because you don't want it to be so thin. You want it to kind of be a thick little base. So we'll get some more flour and mix it in. There is no direct measurements. Some people like their roux a little thinner, others a little thicker. So you'll have to go towards your desired amount.
It looks like way darker on camera in here.
Again, you want to keep moving the spoon around and stirring it because it'll burn and stick quick if you don't. The roux is the hardest part. You can buy pre-made roux at places like Walmart with the seasoning and stuff, but I find it better when you make your own roux.
So it's been like 5 minutes and he's been stirring.
Yeah, this is the longest part that you have to do something because you don't want to let it sit and burn because all you have in here is flour and butter, and you can see the texture. It's, not kind of clumpy, a little thicker, and you just keep moving around and stirring it and it'll start to get darker. The longer obviously it cooks, the darker it'll get. This is the same way that you make a roux for gumbo. The difference between etouffee and gumbo roux is that the etouffee roux you want to stop when it starts to get dark, and a gumbo roux you continue to do this until it's almost burnt. You got the dark color before it burns. But this will take about 25-30 minutes to get to the right color, and then we'll start with our next step. Alright, so we cooked the vegetables down in the roux on low to medium-low heat. Hey, Bubba. So now we're going to get to our next step, and you're going to add water just from the tap. Usually add between 12 and 16 cups. So this is about 8 cups here. We're going to dump that in.
Woo!
And all over the floor. And get some more. So this is where you can determine, how much you can do. 4 cups. It wouldn't be a lot of servings, but it'd be, you know, you'd get a lot more vegetables and meats and things in each spoonful. But we like it, so I'm gonna add about 16 cups total. Could even add a little more if we want. Let's stir this around a little bit and see. I think we'll add about 4 more cups. Just give us a good amount. Then we're going to do our seasonings. Now seasonings, there is no set. It can be, it's to taste. You can, you know, do the seasonings to your taste. Now the first one I'm going to do is the one you want to be the most careful with, is liquid crab oil. You only want to put a drop or two because this concentrated liquid crab oil will continue to heat through the etouffee, especially when you sit it overnight. So it doesn't seem real hot at first, but if you were to put 4 or 5 drops of that in there, by the next day it's going to be extremely hot.
And the kids can't eat it anymore.
Yeah, our kids usually can't eat it if I put more than 2 drops in. Nice big spoonful and a half of minced garlic.
We like garlic, so
2 or 3 drops of liquid smoke. Now liquid smoke you really don't need for it, but I like it in there. Add a little salt to taste. A little black pepper.
How do you know if it's to taste if you don't taste it?
Well, we'll taste it once I boil it. Then we can always add more. So, a little black pepper, little Tony's. I always use Tony's with everything. It's basically just a seasoned salt.
He literally means everything. He uses Tony's on everything.
A little ground cayenne pepper. Again, don't want to go too heavy with that at first because you can always add more. Can't take out. A little onion powder. And then lastly, a couple squirts of Worcestershire sauce.
What was that?
Worcestershire sauce. And a couple squirts of soy sauce.
This is like the weirdest thing.
Once you get that all in there, you're gonna mix it all around. Now what we're gonna do is turn the oven or the stovetop up to high and bring it to a boil, a rolling boil. And once it starts boiling, then we'll turn the heat and let it, you know, cool off a little bit from the rolling boil and let everything work through, and then we'll start adding our seafood and getting ready for the end.
And we'll add this. Yuck. Alright.
Alright, so we brought it up to a boil and turned the heat down, let it simmer for about a good 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is just cool it off first and taste a little bit of the water to see if there's any seasonings I want to add. Oh, hot. And the way it tastes is good, but I'm going to add a little more Worcestershire sauce.
A little.
Or a decent amount. Just a little bit more cayenne pepper. And then a little black pepper. And just a hint of Tony's. So we'll go ahead and stir that, and then the next step is to add the seafood. Now you can do this with just crawfish, you can do it with shrimp, crab. You can do it with chicken, but we're doing it with crawfish and shrimp that we bought pre-cooked, frozen at Walmart. Actually, I think these are from John Eagle. So I'm gonna add all of them in there.
And this you serve over rice or with rice.
Alright, so we got all the seafood in there, and then we'll stir it around. Then what we're going to do is bring it back to a boil, and then turn the heat down and let it simmer for 30 minutes, and then we'll be on to our last step with the etouffee, which will be thickening the sauce up so that it's not so watery.
Yummy. It's just milk. Taste it. Please taste it. Taste it. Right there.
Oh.
It's just vanilla milk.
I know it's a nasty cup. Stuff all around in this.
Sorry, just take a sip.
What is it?
Cornstarch and water.
What the heck?
She didn't dump it everywhere, did she?
No.
Are we sure? Because I need that to thicken the...
She didn't dump anything.
Alright, so we brought it to a boil after putting the seafood in. And then let it simmer for a good 30 minutes. Now to thicken the etouffee, we're going to use cornstarch, which just followed the directions. Mixed it 2 cups of cornstarch with 2 cups of water. Then we'll mix this in and let it continue to simmer while it thickens. And the etouffee will be done.
We'll make our rice and then plate it up. Isn't that how it goes?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
plate it up. So this is what it looks like all finished and plated up with the rice. I just put some rice in the middle and put the etouffee all around it. So that's Cajun etouffee.
Cajun etouffee. Grab a spoon and enjoy.